Broadcasting live, it's Cream Pie Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
And now for your hosts, give it up for Josh and Rick.
Oh, yeah.
All right, friends, welcome back to a very special episode of CPS. I'm here with a couple of good buddies. It is mine and Eric's pleasure to introduce the Guido Torpedo himself. He's been called the Guido Torpedo. He's been called the Italian Stallion. I've heard him called around town. He's been called the Salmonella Gorilla. With heavy calves and a light heart and a penis size of exactly 5.32 inches, Jimbo. Jimbo, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you guys for having me. It's fun to be here.
Is he above us? Is he above us?
Yes, he's above us. He's in the clouds.
Hello, Jimbo. We
will pray to him. Hey, I just found a extension cord I was looking for all fucking morning, hanging in the ceiling. Just doing that.
Oh, really?
It's like a 3-foot cord, and I'm looking at it right now. That would have helped me about 45 minutes ago. Whatever. I'm over it. Creamers.
Yeah.
Welcome. It's another Sunday.
Yeah. Indeed it is. So the guy's name is James Umats, by the way.
Here's my social security. Yeah.
That's good, dude. I haven't talked to Jimbo in Coon's age. Oh, shit. Bleep that. Am I allowed to say that?
I think that's redacted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How are you?
Yeah.
Buddy, what's been happening?
Not too much. It's been a really long time, man.
Yeah.
But it's always good catching up with you. Not too much new. Just like Rick getting married soon, which will be nice.
You're getting married soon too, though. Aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep.
2 out of 3 boys.
Got to do everything together.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are both getting married, and I'm still over here with my dick in my hand here.
Yep.
I got a good thing going on down here, though, in the Carolinas. And, of course, I have Lita. But we're not engaged or anything. As of now.
Boys, back in the day, we used to run our little area. We had a little gang called the what was the name of the Hanukkah song band?
I think
was that the Guido Torpedo?
I think so, yeah.
Back in the day, we had a little gang that would run the town, and
yeah, sure.
No, we didn't have a gang.
But we did have vests. We had a lot of vests.
Yeah, vests.
With lots of badges and little knickknacks. Looks like we worked at a TGI Fridays.
I do remember filming that Hanukkah video, though. Josh, do you remember running down a mountain to try to get back?
No, I remember something about a mountain. I think it was Fort Mountain.
Yeah, Fort Mountain. Yep. Yeah. And for some reason, I don't remember why, but you decided to just like barrel down the mountain on the way home, like through the bushes, through the trees, full speed. And we all took the trail.
Yeah. I could imagine I would do something like that. I don't recall, but.
Yeah, you definitely did. And it was probably lady related. So it definitely fits the brand.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I got to meet up this chick later, guys.
Yeah, be right back. Full sprints down the side of a mountain.
I was wild back in the day, huh? Man.
You were.
That was back when we could just casually get together and climb a mountain and go film ourselves. And now we're like hours away from each other all the time. Josh, you're like at least 2 days hitchhike away.
Don't, minimum. Yeah, I'm fucking 2 days driving. Not really. I'm 12 hours, 15 hours driving, but yeah.
Are you really that far away?
Yeah. I think right in between us is like Atlantic City or DC, which is like 6 or 7 hours, and that's the halfway mark. Yeah, people forget. Right. People forget how big the Carolinas are too. Once you hit North Carolina, you have another 2 or 3 hour drive until you get to me. You know, like the Carolina is a huge state, and then east to west, it's like a 5 hour drive. Like there's parts in North Carolina that are 4.5, 5 hours away from me.
Yeah, because I went down North Carolina for the Carolina Rebellion back in the day for one of those music festivals.
Yeah.
And I forgot that was a hard 12 and a half hours, and that was brutal, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Being out in the sun for 3 days and then driving back, that's like, yeah.
Well,
those trips get very taxing.
These southern states are fucking enormous, dude. Like, we always forget in New England because all the states are so small up there. But that's like the only part of the country the states are that small, because from New Hampshire or Massachusetts, you're within like a 3 or 4 hour drive from like 7 or 8 different states, kind of. You know what I mean? But down here, like, I'm on the border of South Carolina, but other than that, I'm 5 hours from Virginia. You know, like I'm 4 or 5 hours from Georgia. So it's not like I could just hop into another state like you can up there, you know? Yeah, they're big. They're big states. You could fit New England inside of fucking California, and California's enormous. You know what I mean? Like, they're different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I go from like the Midwest out west, I don't really remember where, like in comparison, Las Vegas is to like a South Dakota or a Dallas. I'm like, as far as like once you cut the country in half, the left half, I'm very poor in my geography for sure.
It helped living out there. Vegas is about a 4 hour drive east of LA. Like, they're not that far from each other. Like, I had a bunch of friends out there that would drive there for the weekend. And Lita's been to Vegas countless times because that's what they do on the weekends there. Like, let's drive to Vegas for the weekend. You know what I mean? And the other thing is Hawaii. Hawaii is just a 5 hour plane ride. And you leave from LAX. So for East Coast folks, it's a 10-hour plane ride, so it's a pain in the ass. But if you're in LA, you just go to Hawaii. We go to the Caribbean. That's an East Coast thing. Like, nobody from LA ever goes to the Caribbean because that's a hike. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, we know people that go to Aruba, for example, all the time. But it's like that for Hawaii in LA. Yeah. You guys ready to go to Maui? We'll book a trip to Maui. I heard they have a good discount going on right now.
Yeah. They love tourists right now.
Yeah. We'll really light it up.
Jesus.
It'd be a hot trip.
Oof. Oh my goodness. Get him off stage. He's gone off his rocker.
Oh man. Dude, I got booed for a Bob Barker joke this week on stage.
What was it?
It's a dumb joke. And since I've done the joke, I've seen the joke in memes and stuff, but I didn't get it from the internet. But it was like, Bob Barker's 99 years old. He was 4 months away from being 100. I think he was trying to get as close to 100 as he could without going over.
Nice.
That's awful. That's a promo that's going to get 1 view, but I will proudly post it.
He succeeded though.
And then
he did not go over.
I said, I have a friend that said Bob Barker died from the vaccine, and I think that friend should be spayed or neutered.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yo, I just today before Jimbo got here, I was just scrolling aimlessly on my phone and I saw in Texas, they started a law that if you have a drunk driver kill somebody that's a parent, that person has to pay child support for that child that they killed their parent, which is I think it's a good law, but
that's
it's like,
great.
How bad are things that needs to like exist,
Well, I don't know if things are bad or if that's just like to get political points for somebody to pass you know what I mean? Like, hey, we're on your side type thing. And they pass a law. Like, I don't know, maybe drunk driving is bad and up, but I don't think it's gotten worse in recent years. But I think that's probably just something where they want to pass something for political points. And then people like you like see that and they agree with it and they're like, oh yeah. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. But I'm all for it.
Yeah, I don't feel one way or another, but it's kind of strange that somebody thought that like that wasn't even a thought in somebody's head that, oh, we should do that, which is a good idea, but it's kind of sad that that needs to be a thing.
I see what you're saying. Another big thing I saw in Texas, they probably passed both at the same time to get both sides to like them. They just banned anybody under 18 is not allowed to get gender reaffirming care, or they're not allowed to have gender reaffirming surgery under 18 in Texas. 2 days ago. Yeah. Saw that too.
I can tell where this is going. Jimbo's on here for 10 minutes and he gets his fucking canceled.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jimbo. You fucking you knew what you were signing up for there, Jimbo. I'm gonna keep looking up. I'm gonna keep looking up at Jimbo.
So Jimbo, are you insensitive for, not saying you in general, but like, are people insensitive if they believe you should be 18 before you're allowed to do something like that?
Well, Jimbo, don't say anything that's going to get you fired. I'm a comedian and a bartender and a salesman, but you have a real job. Just consider.
I do have a real job with a real progressive employer.
Consider that before answering.
No, I think it's a subject where I personally just don't know anything about to have a good opinion.
Okay.
But I do think for any surgeries, you really should be an adult, like legally, before you make decisions like that.
Canceled.
Yeah, whatever.
It's all right.
Picture this: if a fifth grade girl came into school and she had lip injections,
It'd be fucking weird.
Is a teacher going to call the cops on the parents? Like, is that okay? Can you do that to? I guess you can.
I mean, legally, if she gets permission, probably. But that's why it's messed up. It's like they shouldn't give permission for that. I mean, she's a fucking kid.
Strange.
It's weird that you're not allowed to get a tattoo if you're 17, but you're allowed to chop your cock off. That's all I'm saying. Sorry, Jimbo.
Why? Yeah, we're good.
Sorry, Jimbo. James is not part of the community, dude. Don't worry about him.
I'm gonna be. I'm gonna have an HR email when I go in on Tuesday.
I thought they were adding a G to the fuck. Oh, they already have a G. Actually, it's gay. I was gonna say Guido.
Guido.
Yeah.
Just like a little meme of like the fingers like this.
It's like, yeah, Mamma Mia. James, are you even Italian? We always
yes.
Okay.
Actually, I mean, like fourth generation, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's really weird that Italian Americans are hanging on to it for so long. Like, it's good to have some culture, but
right,
you don't survive in Europe.
After 4 generations of being Italian, it's like, nah, you're an American now. Like, yeah.
Eating pasta 4 times a week is pretty bad. Yeah, we realize that now.
It's funny. It took us 100 years to realize eating pasta 4 days a week is not good for your gut biome. Mm-hmm.
What are you, Josh? What's your nationality?
Oh, I'll tell you right now. So I mostly Irish. Well, I got a DNA sample and it's Irish/English, but I believe it's mostly Irish because they're the same. Like Irish people and English people don't like to admit that, but it's the same genetic code. You can't really tell the difference. So my 23andMe says English/Irish, but they'll take offense to that.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure you just got canceled over in the UK.
Yeah. I know that they hate each other and stuff, but
I'd like to take a step back though and ask what kind of DNA sample was this? Was this cum?
Yes. They actually send a guy. It was weird because he was a little Chinese man. So the 23andMe guy actually comes to your house and he milks you into a thistle, and then brings it to his laboratory and then tests it. I think he has to sample it too in his mouth. Yeah.
Make sure you're not cheating.
Did you just use the word thistle?
Indeed.
What is this apparatus?
I don't know.
Describe this to me.
I think thistle is actually like milk thistle. I think it's a plant, and I think I used the word incorrectly.
Oh, but you're referencing milk.
I was thinking a thimble, perhaps.
Ah, okay.
Or
my apologies. I'm just curious. I'm trying to learn every day, man.
Yeah. He knocked on my front door and he jerked me off into his mouth and then was like, ooh, Irish. And then he left.
They know it's like the sorting hat in Harry Potter.
Indeed, yeah.
It just knew instantly.
Yeah, Gryffindor.
Irish.
Yeah, he put a little sorting hat in my penis.
Was he dressed like the Guinness record holder people when they come in like a nice blazer and an official badge?
Yeah, dude, I think that is so funny that they come with like the official badge for like the guy that took the biggest shit. Like, yeah. Or like, you hold the record for jerking off the most times in one day. Here's your official badge, sir. Yeah. You know what's funny is the Guinness Book of World Records is the same company that started the Guinness beer. People don't realize that.
Man, you just unlocked a core memory from those Scholastic book fairs.
Isn't that funny? Yeah. I think they're separate companies now, but I think originally they were the same. Just like Michelin star restaurants were owned by the same company that was Michelin. And the reason they started Michelin star was because they wanted to get people to drive to other restaurants to sell more tires.
Yeah, it was in their like travel book.
Right.
Michelin recommended restaurants.
Exactly. But I think they split at some point and now they're separate, but that's why they're both called Michelin. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
It's weird, right?
Yep. Have you ever eaten at a Michelin-starred restaurant, Josh? Especially in LA?
Yeah, I believe so. Because we would go to some really nice places in LA. I believe I've been to one Michelin star restaurant. I forget the name of it, but it was a steakhouse in LA. It was like one of those like get a tomahawk steak for $100 type place. But me and Lita would always like, I blew so much money with her, like going to nice places, like restaurants out there. But I don't regret any of it. I've had some of the best dining experiences in LA, dude. It's the fucking shit. LA's food is the one thing I miss about the West Coast. Well, that and the people I made friends with and the weather. But
yeah,
I don't miss the homelessness. I don't miss the taxes, like dumb shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How was the size for you? It's a big city.
LA, living out there?
Yeah.
It was good, man. It's so they call it like the sprawling suburb. You know, it's not really like I was in downtown LA or anything. I lived in Long Beach. And I didn't live in downtown Long Beach. I lived in like the center of Long Beach. So other than like a few hot spots, like the middle of Long Beach downtown or the middle of LA downtown or these other places, it's mostly just a big suburb. Everybody drives out there. It's not like New York City or anything. They have buses, but they don't have subways or anything. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's kind of just like a suburb. It's a suburb where you could get shot and there's homeless people shitting on the sidewalk doing meth. But it's nevertheless, it's still kind of like a suburb. But it's so loud. So loud out there. That's the one thing. It like took me a time once I moved here to get used to the quiet again. Does that make sense?
Are there panhandlers in where you live, Josh? Are there like people asking for money on the street?
In North Carolina?
Yeah.
There are people that hold signs in Charlotte like, hey, help me, I'm homeless type people. Yeah. I think that's in every city, everywhere though. But not very many. Like I'll drive by one a week here versus like having to step over 5 every day in Long Beach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about your area, Jimbo, over in Manchester? I know.
Yeah, it's fine where I am, honestly, in Manchester. Like, you see a panhandler now and again, and then, like, usually on the hot days, you see, like, an ambulance giving them water or something. But it was funny, when I was living in Boston, it was way more common. You saw it all the time.
Yeah.
So originally, you know, when I was in Dorchester, there's a funny story about how, you know, there's this huge roundabout, which is very popular in Boston, and it's stupid. And you'd come off the highway and you have this giant roundabout and there's always homeless people there. And I remember one time my friend Bemis was dropping Cody off.
Bemis?
That's his last name.
That's funny.
Yeah. And
it's a funny name.
We were dropping him off at my apartment and Cody was driving. Apparently he rolled up the windows, locked the doors.
Oh, yeah.
Got all freaked out. Yeah. And then when I lived in Alston, I don't know if they were homeless or what, but this was an experience I'd never seen before. Every like Sunday morning, I would just hear like glass bottles, and I look outside. And there's just Asian people rifling through my recycling, like taking it all and putting it in these giant carts and just going to the next house.
That's an Asian thing. They're not homeless.
Yeah, it was just the weirdest thing I ever saw. Like the first month I'm there, and I asked my roommate, and they're like, "Nah, they're here every week. Who cares?" Yeah, well, they're taking your trash and they're turning it into money. Probably they get a little bit back for that. Lita's family does it. No. The whites don't waste their time with that nonsense. But no, it makes sense. Lita's family did the same thing back in Long Beach. Like her mom saved all the recycle and brought it in every month. She'd walk up and down the street on Long Beach. No. She didn't. With a big like Super 86. She had a fucking shopping cart. No. She's just waving at the neighbor. Of course not. No, she saved her own. But you know, it's if you get like $50 a month, like it's it's a pain in the ass, but you know. It's worth $50 a month. Here's the thing though, I would rather make $50 less a month and not save everything. You know what I mean? But if you're tight on cash, then yeah, makes sense to do.
Yeah, I think just to kind of shift gears, I think I'm to the point now that I'd rather have my time than have money at this point. Like I'd rather have a free day than, I don't know. Well, I think ultimately what you're doing is you're putting a value to your time, right?
Yeah.
And you're saying like $50 is just not worth the time it would take to go recycle all that trash.
Right. I'd rather just pick up one bartending shift a month and make an extra $200 and just do that instead of spending all those hours collecting. But yeah, I think that happens, Rick. I think as you get older, you kind of realize that the most valuable thing in life is time, not money. You know what I mean? Like you can't buy time. It's the one thing you can't buy. And it just, you only have so much of it. And your time is worth a certain amount to you. That's like last night, I was bartending, and I bartended in this big fucking warehouse place. It used to be a cotton mill back in the day, and now it's a bar, and it's down the street from me. I do it on the weekends, and the power went out at this place. So now we're in this haunted mill with the power out, and when nobody knows what to do last night. And I'm making $3 an hour if I'm not making tips. And I had to stay for like an extra 45 minutes just because the power went out, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, dude, my time is like, I should just go home. Like, what are they going to do? Yeah. Like, I would rather have a good Saturday night and go home than be stuck here for 2 hours and they're not paying me. Like, you're ruining my Saturday. This is the only Saturday that is going to exist for me like this, ever. So you're ruining it for me, but you're not paying me. I understand the circumstances, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, this is somewhat similar. So I'm getting married in a month. You guys know, the Creamers know.
Yeah,
so
I'll be there.
Yesterday we had to go to K Jewelers to like make sure our rings are inspected. You have to inspect them every 6 months or something. Whatever. I don't know. It's stupid to me.
What?
So I'm in there. They can't pull up my name, my phone number, my email. Same thing for Emily. Go through everything. They go to this computer that I swear to God looks like one from the early 90s. Like the white beige monitor that's 3 feet deep with the old keyboard where every button is like a half-inch high and they make the clicking noise.
Yeah.
I'm looking at like a goddamn Windows 95 and she's trying to pull this shit up. And I'm standing there for 20 minutes and I'm asking her, I'm like, do you need us to be here? She's like, well, yeah, I need to make sure the warranty is good. I'm like, can you just take down our information? You do this after I leave? She's like, well, it's not, I need to do it in the system. I'm like, so I have to sit here and wait for you because you're using technology? And I'm like, all right, whatever, that's silly. And I turn around and it's one of those where they have the glass cases all around the room. And the fucking computer inside of that thing is a Windows 95. Same beige white monitor. They've got like a fucking huge desk for this goddamn freaking tower. I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? I'm like, what business in 2023 is using technology from over 20 years ago?
That's sad.
Like that's 30 years ago, like almost 30 years old. It's like, it's like, why are you running a business like this? It just like blew my mind. And I'm sitting there for 20 minutes. I'm like, I don't have to be here in the first place.
Any business that gets to a certain like level of height, like any corporate business doesn't give a fuck. Like if they don't have it in their budget, also all the red tape and all the people and all the executives that make these decisions don't consider these things like technology budget and stuff. They don't care. If they can keep fucking you in the ass and selling you jewelry, they're going to do it. And they're going to do it without any lube. And they don't give a fuck. Like, fuck them. Make them wait. I don't care. He has to buy our ring anyways. You know what I mean? What?
I swear, though, I guarantee that's not a corporate thing. I think this is your location, Rick. I swear everything out here is just 30 years old, man. Because I've also been to a K Jewelers, and they ain't rocking, blue screen white, too.
Oh, okay.
The lady just smacking it.
That's actually, Jimbo brings up a good point. Are jewelry stores like franchise, like restaurants? Or are they? I
was just thinking that when Rick was talking.
Yeah.
It must be.
It's got to
like
be, right?
Jared's Galleria.
Or even like a Verizon store. Like I think Verizon stores are owned by different people. They're not like.
Yeah, those are definitely franchise.
Because they're all different. Like if you go to like the one in Concord, it's different from the one here. It's different than Manchester. So I bet K Jewelers is just something they slap on like the fucking billboard or the kiosk, and they just have to pay a percentage to K. And they go through their distribution networks and stuff. But I bet it's privately owned.
Well, that's probably how they expanded in the first place. They would say, all right, we're going to start just going out. Jewelry stores give them the offer. And then, all right, you want to be at K Jewelers, you'll get an extra certain amount and we'll pay for renovations and this and that. And
yeah. But you have to pay for your own computer. And the owner's like, all right, fuck it. Here's a computer.
Yeah. Well, here's the one that I had back in college. It's like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? The mouse is like all white and it looks like somebody's been spooging on it every day for the last 29 years.
The mouse still has the ball.
Oh, yeah. The mouse has the ball.
spin out and clean the dusty ball and then stick it back in the mouse. And it's all corded.
Yeah.
Everything was corded.
Yeah. And the owner just comes in every night and like jerks off onto the fucking monitor.
He's on Pornhub on that thing.
Yeah. Sorry, it's our internet seems to be slow today.
You can hear like the dial up in the background just screaming at him.
Beep, 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 beep.
That's why I get put on hold so often when I call him.
Yeah. Just fucking.
He comes around the corner. He's like, I was about to bust, but the fucking fax machine went off and it ruined my concentration.
Yeah. He's putting you on hold. He's putting his dick on hold.
I got another goddamn political fax to my home business. He sleeps in the back closet, like underneath all the wires, the network stuff.
He gets a fax. It's just the Trump mugshot with no context. What the fuck is this? Give me a break. How'd they get my fax number? Dude, imagine if like callers, like spam callers, like were doing spam faxes. Was that a thing? Like, you know how you get like random calls from telemarketers and stuff? Did they give you like telemarketer faxes when fax machines were a thing? Would you just get like a random thing printed out and it's just like an ad?
Well, that would piss people off because they have to buy the paper that's being used.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But if it comes from a random number that you're not aware of, then they're like, fuck it. We're just going to fax every random number this picture. And then you get like a fax and it's just like a picture of some guy's like beehole or something. It's like, what the fuck is this? It says like vote for DeSantis or something. I don't know.
All just ones and zeros. Like, oh, okay, this is cool, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if that was a thing, if anybody got random faxes. It's interesting.
Like 1990s Anonymous is just sending thousands of faxes a day.
Yeah. Could be.
So, the United States is the only country other than New Zealand that advertising medication is legal.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that the other day.
Yeah.
That so much of that drives our economy.
Yeah.
That's like a terrifying fact.
Yeah, so I've known that for a few years, and the crazy thing is it's legal in New Zealand, but they have way more laws about it in New Zealand. Like we're like the only country that allows, like when you watch TV, for them to say the shit they do. Like it's very like informative in New Zealand. It's not like people like walking through wheat fields, like living their best life.
Side effects include like constipation.
Yeah, it's like if you want your life to get better, ask your doctor about whatever the fuck. But first of all, why are you asking your doctor about a medication? Shouldn't you just tell your doctor your symptoms and then he decides with medication? Like, isn't that the whole point of healthcare? Like now,
I bet doctors are paid off, man, to pick certain brands.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
It's a corrupt organization.
Well, it's a corrupt fucking country because not only is the CDC also run by people that also work for big pharma companies, and they're interchangeable. Like the head of the CDC was the head of Pfizer, and they go back and forth, and that's a real thing. But also, like 80% of advertising on networks like CNN, for example, or Fox News too, are funded by pharmaceutical companies. Like 80% of ads are funded by pharmaceutical companies in this country on cable. It's fucking wild. And then when you realize that, you're like, oh, okay, I understand what's going on here. There's an agenda. You know what I mean? It's pretty fucking weird. And there's nothing you can do.
Think of insurance too, right?
Oh, dude, don't even get me started with health insurance.
When you're paying like $20, but like in reality, it costs $40,000 behind the scenes.
Yeah, the whole thing's a scam. You go to the fucking ER and take one Tylenol and they charge you fucking $800 for a pill. And it's like, can you justify to me how this makes sense? It just doesn't make sense, but it's acetaminophen. You gave me one pill of acetaminophen and I can get that at CVS for 50 cents, but you're charging me $200. Can you explain why you're charging me $200? Well, that's how it works. We just accept it. We just accept the fact that if you go to the ER, it costs you $10,000. Why? Fucking why?
Don't go to the ER.
So I went and I had a physical on Friday actually, and I showed up and it was one of those, I kind of came in a little hot, and God bless those ladies working 8 a.m, whatever. But I'm like, I give her all my information. She's like, all right, so you'll be seen in 10 minutes, whatever. I'm like, all right. I'm like, is this bill going to be like the same as my last one? Because the last time I got a physical, it cost me like $350.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it going to be the same? And she's like, well, it'll probably be in the same ballpark. So I'm like, all right. So I don't really remember what I got during my last physical. Let me see how this goes. They took my weight.
Yep.
They took my height. They took my blood pressure.
Yep.
And they asked me if I started smoking cigarettes.
Yep. That's what they do.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the summary. $350 for that.
You fucking kidding me? And they still charge you $350?
Are you kidding me?
So
No, $350 is what you paid.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not.
Well, I haven't gotten the bill yet, but that's if it's going to be the same as last year, it's going to be the same deal.
So it probably costs $700, but if you have health insurance and insurance covers half of it or whatever the fuck. I don't know how yours works. Like you might have a deductible, but also,
I'll give them.
The thing is, like the insurance company negotiates with the hospital. Like they'll call the insurance company and bribe them down, and then the insurance company's like, "Well, we'll give you this much," and they're like, "Okay." So it's all kind of like a fugazi. It's all kind of like fairy dust, pixie dust. It doesn't exist. You know what I mean? It's all just bullshit.
I should just record myself having the conversation with the doctor and see how many words per dollar I'm costing. So every word that I'm in here, it costs me $7.
No,
something like that.
Way more than that.
You can't mess up with your words either. I've had that happen. This was the last physical I went to.
Yep.
I think it was 2019. So the doctor just asks questions, right? They're like, hey, are you feeling all right? I think at the time, I was having stomach pain or something. Nothing serious, but he asked, I said it. And sure enough, the bill comes, and on it, they're like, this is now a specialist visit. And so I had to pay full price. And I'm like, wait, what? And I call the insurance company, and the lady's like,
just because you brought it up?
Well, yeah. She's like, well, you're 24 years old, so that's not standard physical procedure. That was a separate thing. And I'm like, he asked and I answered. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Well, doctors don't really know, et cetera, et cetera. And I think I told her something along the lines of in the future, I'm going in Helen Keller style. I'm not
saying
I'm not
shit.
talking. Yeah, just lead me by my hand to the scale.
So Jimbo, the fact that you brought up you were having stomach pain cost you hundreds of dollars more. Just because you mentioned it without any that. Going to the doctors is the one thing they could just charge you without you realizing what you're paying for. And then they just give you the bill and they're like, yeah, fuck you. Here's what it is. And you're like,
because they don't know the
you know what
insurance.
I mean? You go to a fucking restaurant, you order on the menu, there's a price. You go to the doctors, they're just like, oh, here's what happened today and here's how much it is. They don't fucking tell you. Eric's asking how much his physical is going to cost. And I'm like, I don't know. Good luck.
We'll figure it out.
It's no, fucking tell me what I'm paying for here. Can you give me a price? But they can't. It's all bullshit, man.
So I haven't been back, man. And the one thing I advocate for is blood work. I think that's the one thing that's you should go see a doctor for.
But they can talk to you over the phone for that, dude. I shouldn't have to go to a hospital for somebody to.
If you're not doing blood work.
But it's funny that you guys say that because before I even went in there, I saw a little infographic, and this isn't exactly what it said, but at the bottom corner, it said something along the lines of pain is not covered. So I went in there with my neck hurting, but I didn't say a goddamn word because I heard Jimbo's story.
Oh,
I didn't want to pay an extra $100 because I say my neck hurts. And, let me see a specialist. No, I'm fine. Well, I wrote it down. So it's like getting a fucking parking ticket. It's once it's on paper, it's in your thing. It's are you kidding me, dude?
Oh, this guy said his neck hurt, and we talked to him about it for 10 seconds. Charge him an extra $200.
We did nothing except say, if it gets worse, come back.
Yeah.
I did a reaffirming, and that's it. They just grunt.
Neck reaffirming care.
I should do that. Just go in there and just grunt the whole time and just write shit on a board. Just
I'm just going to, at this point, I'm so fed up with life and with the medical institution in general and the way this country's going. I'm just going to go to my physician and just walk in the fucking lobby and just scream,
cut my dick off. I'm ready. Let's fucking go.
I think Lita's still trying to sleep. I just think I just woke her up. Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on quiet quitting?
Explain what quiet quitting is.
That is, say just through your workday, you grab your shit and you walk out and you never come back.
Depends. Do you need the job for a reference? Then I'm all for it.
Probably not.
Then I'm all for it. If you don't need the job for a reference.
Approach, right?
Yeah. You're burning that bridge. But if you don't need the fucking reference, you're paid to be there, and if you don't want to be paid to be there, just don't be there. I'm all for it. I think it's great. It's it's got a good protest too. Like it's
I mean, it's across the spectrum too. You could be working at Taco Bell, or you could have an office job, or you make $80K and just walk out and be like, nah, fuck it, dude, I don't need this.
So my belief, I never do it, and I always give a 2 weeks notice, even for like the most mundane job that I have, even if it's a side gig. I always give a 2 weeks notice, just because I like to not burn bridges, and I like to have that reference. And also, I feel bad for like the people that work there. I don't want to fuck them over. Like the people that are on my level. For example, if I'm serving at a restaurant, I don't want all these servers to have to like pick up slack for 2 weeks because some asshole walked out. You know what I mean? Because I've been on the other side of that. And I feel bad. But if it's not going to affect anybody else and you don't need the money or the reference, then yeah, walk out. Who cares? That's my opinion.
Was I with one of you guys where it might have been with my family actually. I was at a restaurant and the chef the cook quit during that shift. So they were like still seating tables, but they had nobody to like make the food. And they came out and they just announced, maybe were either of you guys there for that? Or is that something just in my world?
I don't think so.
World.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like I don't even know, like a Greek restaurant or something. But yeah, the guy came out and he's like, sorry, our cook just quit. He like apologized and I just kind of left. It was weird, dude.
That's weird.
Definitely like a once in a lifetime.
It's so crazy we got Jimbo on the pod, man. I'm sorry, it's great. It's cool, man. So what was the deal? Like, did you reach out? Should I be looking up at you?
No, I mean, today is like the last nice day, right? Remember, we're New England here. We don't get this beautiful weather all year.
Yeah.
So I took the motorcycle over and I asked Eric, I was like, you want to do a ride? And he's like, well, I got to do the pod. If you show up early enough, you can be on. So
oh, shit.
I'm here. I wanted to say hi.
Nice. Yeah, man. So you're obviously going to the bachelor party. You're in the wedding. You're the best man, right?
Correct. Yep. And I'll be there. Dude, I'm going to be exhausted. So my schedule here, right? I've been go all weekend. I just got back from a wedding. On Thursday, I fly to Las Vegas till Sunday. And then when is it, Rick? Thursday of the following week, we go to the bachelor party?
Friday, yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
There's a lot of beers going through my system.
Well, you got a few days to recuperate. Just go to bed really early.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Oh yeah, it's so exactly 2 weeks from. Oh yeah, it's okay. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah, less than 2 weeks. Wow, holy crap! Time flies, boys.
Well, dude, I'm flying home on the 11th, and it's the 3rd. So
yeah,
I'm flying home on. I got a great deal on 9/11 for a flight.
I'm sure.
Yeah. The Taliban contacted me and. Let's just get canceled. Fuck it.
Holy shit, dude.
All right.
Oh my God.
All right, we'll bleep
I can hear
that.
somebody knocking on my door right now.
We'll bleep that. I was just thinking the most fucked up thing I could say. Okay, we'll bleep that.
That's awful.
No, but I'll be flying home on 9/11 after that bleep. I'll definitely take that out.
So you're flying in on my birthday?
Yeah, I always forget you're a 9/11 baby. That sucks.
I was, yeah. I mean, we still had cupcakes. It was just under the desk.
That's funny.
Yeah, real story though. Actual real story. So it was either my 8th or 9th birthday. I honestly can't remember, but my parents still wanted to take us to Olive Garden, and I just vividly remember coming home and my mom was like, yeah, something big happened, but like at 9 you don't know the gravity of the whole thing, right?
Right, of course.
And my dad gets home and like they're like, yeah, well, we have reservations at Olive Garden, so let's go. Mm-hmm. And like the server comes over and she's in full like combat fatigues. She's part of the National Guard, like all the blinds are pulled and closed, right?
Oh.
And then they're coming over like, happy birthday. You know what I mean?
So weird.
It was. I'd like
at that point, just close if you're going to be like that. Like, yeah, it's not even worth being open.
Yeah.
That's got to be so weird.
Chicken broccoli Alfredo.
You poor bastard, though. Your birthday's on 9/11.
Doesn't really change anything.
It's funny, though, out of 365 days in a year, 365.25 if you count leap year, you're born on the one day that every American remembers. The world remembers. And it's just like, oh, that's 9/11. Oh, shit. You know, it's like one of those days. I guess, you know what?
Who do you share a birthday with, James?
What do you mean?
Is there any celebrities that are born on 9/11?
I mean, probably. If you think about it as a math problem, right? How many billion of people in this world divided by 365? There's going to be a lot of overlap.
Any famous people, though?
I don't know.
Have you guys ever heard of the birthday paradox? I don't know if it's called the paradox, but it's the birthday thing. It doesn't make sense, but it's true mathematically. They've tested it like thousands of times. If you get 50 people in a room together, 2 have the same birthday, almost guaranteed every time. And they don't know why. And they've tested it thousands of times. I know that doesn't sound like it makes sense mathematically, but it's a fact. Isn't that weird? And I wonder why.
I feel like I agree with it. I think it's math. I think these are very large numbers you're talking about, right?
But it's only 50 people in a room, but there's 365 days. So you would assume that there's a good chance that there wouldn't be 2 people with the same birthday at that point, but there's always 2 people with the same birthday. It's like so weird. You know what I mean? And I don't understand the math behind it.
I think this is, and that's what I'm saying. I think this is like statistics, right?
Right.
And that's the thing is like anything greater than 40 is statistically significant. Like you have a large enough sample size.
Yeah.
Right. For most statistics equations.
Right.
So now all of a sudden you're saying you put 50 people in a room and you spread it across. Yeah. Right. I think if you did that experiment enough,
it would show
you could
that
probably confidently say
most groups that we studied with 50 people or more in a room, there's 2 people with the same birthday.
Yeah. I think it's like flipping a coin too, right? Like right now we could sit here all flipping a coin. Yeah. And we'd probably get heads 8 times and tails twice. Yeah. But in reality, we know and accept that
over
if you
time,
flip that coin enough, it'll be. Yeah.
Well, here's the one problem people make like with statistics is they assume that every time is related to the other times. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
streaks don't exist.
For roulette, for example, they'll be like, oh, well, black just hit 6 times in a row. Obviously, the next time it's got to be red because we're overdue for a red. But every single spin is independent. It's still a 50-50 every time. It's not going to be more likely red this time because it was black last time. It's just 50-50 every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but 100%. I love Las Vegas, so I know betting statistics quite good, and that is a really good. You see it a lot in slot machines. Yeah, people thinking that it's a gambler's fallacy, right? Of I have to hit eventually. When in reality, they all are independent events, especially even modern slot machines. Right? That's you press a button and it already determined if you're a winner.
It's like every time you push the button, there's a 1 in 12,000 chance you hit the jackpot, irregardless of every other time before that.
Streaks do not exist. That is your own mind coming up with that.
Yeah, and streaks do exist. It just has nothing to do with like the odds. Like you could win 5 times in a row, but it has nothing to do with like, oh, I'm on a hot streak. No, you're just getting lucky. That's all it is.
Don't tell a craps player that, man.
Yeah, but I mean, mathematically, that's how it works.
I agree.
Yeah.
And it's always in the casino's favor too. That's the other big thing.
Of course, yeah.
They got to make their money.
Even roulette, if you're betting odd or even, the one reason why they have the advantage is because the 0 and the 00. They got the greens.
Yeah, it changes it off of 50-50, and now it's like 48-48.
It's like 48-52, 52 casino. So over time, they know they're going to win their money, regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the large sample size again, too, right? They need volume.
Yep. And so, like, right now, they may be losing to the customer, but over the course of a year, they're winning. They're making money, obviously. And then they're making a bunch of money on these assholes that put all their money on, like, 8 to land, and they just steal the money. Like,
that's what we should do for your bachelor party, Rick.
Or the people that play blackjack and hit on 17. Like, they're making money on that, too. So even blackjack is designed for the dealer to win slightly, right? And you were a blackjack dealer. Let's talk about that.
I was. But that was a crazy experience.
Yeah, it's cool that you did that. But even like with the way the blackjack is set up, if you play the way you're supposed to play, the house still has a slight advantage. But
correct.
The reason why the house has a major advantage is because nobody plays the way they're supposed to play. So really, the house wins more often than that.
They've done very sneaky things over the years to even pull it more and more in their favor.
Really?
So one big thing is blackjack used to pay 3-2. So you bet $10, you'd win 15.
Right.
They've changed that to be 6-5 now.
Okay.
in a lot of the lower limit casinos, and that puts it like 3-4% into the casino's edge even more.
Yeah, 6 to
And
5 is
then
so hard
the
to calculate too, like in your head.
It's just like, it's not even worth it.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You bet $10, you won 12. Like, that's not really different than winning any normal hand, and blackjack's a pretty rare event.
Yeah.
And then the other one is deciding if they stay or push on a soft hand.
Okay.
Which I got to tell you, soft hands as a dealer, it feels very awkward to say that to somebody.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I was a blackjack dealer at Hampton Beach, and pretty much you would just get all the drunks from the beach to come in, and I worked very late shifts, like weekends to 2 a.m. kind of thing.
Yeah.
And these old cougars would come in and just like massively hit on everyone. And I'll never forget, I said something like, I got like a soft 6 as my hand out loud. And she just, without missing a beat, went like, do you want to turn it into a hard 8? And like handed me her phone number. I was like, you're like 70, lady. Your skin's all leathery.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And you should have replied, how about a hard 5? That's all I can give you.
Yeah, 5.2. 5.2 on the dot.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Just some old like weathered biker chick. Like you can tell she smokes for the like all day.
You wanna?
Okay, let's go.
You want to turn that into a hard 8, Sonny boy?
Blackjack and the ladies seem to go well for me. When Eric visited me in Las Vegas too, there's always some like older lady that wanted to play blackjack with us.
Yeah. Some fucking geriatric broad always wants to fuck James at the table.
Yep.
Funny.
Josh, what do you know about OSHA?
OSHA?
Talk to me about OSHA.
I don't know anything about OSHA.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, no, I've never been involved with that, but that's your thing. You're a safety guy. Yeah. I know it's
There's
funny.
a lot of weird rules.
Yeah. I know that I'm assuming it's a large organization that has their head way up their ass that's responsible for safety in the workplace environment, that they have a lot of rules that don't make sense, and they have some rules that do make sense. Am I correct?
It's basically if you're like the hallway monitor and you wanted to keep climbing that ladder, like that's where you end up is showing up and fining people for environmental shit and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And injuries but so just in my world of health and safety, because that's what I live every day, somebody asked the question of what was the biggest OSHA fine of all time. And I looked it up and it was the BP oil spill. What was it? Something Horizon, Deep Horizon or whatever. $87 million.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it. It's like, that's just like a splash in the fucking whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Pads.
It's a drop in the pan.
It's like a drop in the pan. Yeah. It's like, dude, they must make so much like insane money. And it was from like hundreds of like violations that they just ignored. And then, but it's like that whole South Park episode with the BP guy, like, we're sorry.
We're so sorry. Yeah. Oh, we're so sorry. Sorry.
But it's all the same
that.
event, you know. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's like, man, now I appreciate that episode and like their response way better than I did before.
BP never had to pay for what they did because they lobby politicians. I mean, not it's all corrupt. The whole thing is fucked.
Yeah.
So like they don't have to like pay what they should. But it was devastating. Like the BP oil spill. Like just remember there's a live feed of it and you could just like watch what's it doing right now. It's just this giant fucking huge pipe and just oil just like spilling out of it like that. It's fucking crazy.
Did they light it on fire?
I don't know, but
they were trying everything. They had no idea how to stop it. I think they lit it on fire.
That's a good solution. Let's light the ocean on fire. Yeah.
I don't remember. That was a long time ago now.
Yeah.
Well, a couple years.
And then BP's still around today. That should be like something that shuts down a company. But you still can go to a BP and get gas, you know?
Well, there's certain businesses that are probably immune to everything.
Yeah, energy businesses, yeah, for sure.
Or they change their name.
Yeah.
That's all they got to do. Change their name, change their logo, and they're set, you know?
Dude, I think that they should do that with the cops. So, like, obviously the right-wingers don't want to defund the police. And the left-wingers, like, are on board with defund the police. But defund the police is such a bad slogan. Like, people just are turned off to that idea. Let's call it rebrand the police. Let's rebrand the police. You know what I mean?
Bring in some 24-year-old marketing intern.
Yeah.
just redo the whole thing Gen Z style.
Yes.
No cap, bro.
Yo.
On God.
On God, for real. You're under arrest, my bro.
Yeah.
On the ground.
The Miranda rights changed completely.
Yo, low key on the ground, high key, you're under arrest.
Yo, chill.
Yo, chill.
Yeah, that's their new de-escalation policy. Yeah,
Yo, just chill.
Chill.
In police academy, instead of having like a military cut, you're required to have like a perm on the top of your head and have the side shaved with earrings. You need to get your ears pierced.
Upside down cross.
Yeah. Yo, on God, you're under arrest. Yeah.
Well, boys, that's been it's been a creamy little adventure these last 50 minutes.
Do you want to keep this shit going?
We can keep it rolling. I don't know how long the GoPro is going to go.
I'm good.
Do you guys want to hang out?
James, is that GoPro still filming? Is there a red light on it somewhere?
Yeah, we're good.
I feel like it's been a while and we always cut ourselves off and I'm having a good time.
Let's keep rolling then, Daddy.
I mean, I know you guys have to go on your special little bike ride together.
No, dude. 10 minutes makes no difference. It's fine.
What about 15?
Whatever, man. Well, let's just keep it rolling. That GoPro is going to die at some point, and that's the.
I'll let you know when it dies.
Your voice just jumped up so much.
Oh.
Mickey Mouse over here. Speaking of Mickey Mouse, did you guys hear about the whole Disney thing?
I mean, which Disney thing? Right?
Yeah.
So a couple of days ago, Disney and Spectrum, they're fighting.
It's on the Spectrum? They're finally on
Disney's on the Spectrum. So Spectrum, cable. Nobody has any channels that are owned by Disney on Spectrum right now. Like the first day of college football. So ESPN is owned by Disney, for example. So like there are college games, like the first fucking college game of the season, nobody can see it because Disney is in a fight with Spectrum and they're fighting over like, hey, give us more money type shit for the contract.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did see that actually. I saw like their statement.
It's crazy because I said, I work at that bar on the weekends and everybody yesterday's like, hey, can you put the game on? And we're like, sorry, we don't have it. ESPN is offline. You can't get to it because Disney's asking.
That's wacky, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Fucking crazy, right? You got to pay the mouse.
All bars are going to have Disney Plus now, and they're going to be asking their patrons, like, yeah, you want football or Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yeah. Do you guys want to watch the Jets or Aladdin?
Yeah.
Type shit.
Nah, screw Rogers.
What's your favorite Disney movie, James?
Oh, I don't know.
You should know. You got this.
I mean, like, I like the ones we grew up with, right? For sure. Like the 90s, 2000s era.
Yeah.
Are we saying Disney or Disney plus Pixar?
So here's what I realized before you answer. So Disney had like a renaissance in the 90s. So like there's old Disney movies like Pinocchio and Cinderella and shit. And like, I think Pinocchio was fucking almost 100 years ago. Like that shit is so old. Not 100, but maybe it was in the 60s. I think, you know what? Maybe the 40s. I always forget. Is Pinocchio the 40s? Like it's so old ago. So old ago. So long ago.
I feel like he would almost be fair use by this point. We've talked about this in the past, but Pinocchio's got to be old.
Pinocchio is for sure fair use because the original fairy tale is like an old Italian fairy tale. Disney like adapted it. And a lot of what Disney has took, like Cinderella and all that shit, is fair use because they're old stories that have been around for hundreds of years. Disney just made a version of it. Even The Little Mermaid, I think. Like there's a book called The Little Mermaid that was published like 200 years ago.
Yeah.
You know
and
what I
I think
mean?
what's proprietary is what they create, right? Using their images, using
Yeah.
music.
Yeah, you can't use Disney's version of like Ariel or whatever. But you can still, so Disney had this Renaissance era in the 90s where they came back. So from like 1970 to 1990, Disney didn't do jack shit. They had garbage movies. They just lived off of like their big movies, like Cinderella and Pinocchio and all that shit. But in the 90s, they had this Renaissance where like they had Toy Story, which is Pixar. It's like the first Pixar film. And then they had The Lion King. They had Aladdin. They had Tarzan.
Toy Story.
Yeah. They had like all these, like Tarzan was a great fucking movie.
Yeah, dude, they got Phil Collins.
Dude,
man.
Phil Collins had no reason to crush the soundtrack. Did the soundtrack for Tarzan
dominated it?
Dude, that might be Phil Collins' best album. Like, to be honest,
I'm with you.
The Tarzan soundtrack, fucking, it goes hard.
Some of the best parts of those '90s and 2000s, like Disney Pixar, was the music, dude.
Yeah, like so memorable.
Sure. Do you remember Treasure Planet?
Yes,
that movie slaps,
dude.
Including the music,
dude.
That's a good one.
I like fucking pretended to ride around on like a broom after that, or like whatever the fuck it was, the thing he rides on. Yeah,
and then Atlantis. Too, the girl
Atlantis,
with the
yes, the guy with the glasses, that fucking nerd.
Yeah.
And then Mulan. Mulan was the 90s too.
That was the first transgender movie.
Yeah. Dude, they took it away. They remade Mulan and it's just like a chick. And they got rid of fucking Mushu.
Really?
The Eddie Murphy character.
The live action stuff.
Live action Disney fucking is garbage. Like you watch like the Lion King live action. The thing about animated animal characters is that you can show emotion on a lion's face. They can smile, they can frown. You know what I mean? You can personify them in a way that makes them look human. But if you just show a regular lion, he's like just talking like everything the light touches is our kingdom. You know, but he just looks like a fucking lion. It's not cool. You know.
I think live action's goofy, man. The movie industry spends way too much on CGI lately.
It's garbage, man. But you know what? Instead of doing that, like remake The Lion King and maybe reanimate it or something. Like what happened to 2D animation? That shit's cool.
Yeah. Or don't remake it.
Yeah, or just like leave it be because it's legendary. You know, Disney comes up with so little new premises. I think the last good one they came up with was like Lilo and Stitch. That was like the last original idea they came up with. And that was like, what, 2004?
It's not true at all.
What do you mean? You don't like Lilo and Stitch?
I do. I don't think that was the last one. Dude, they've had like a string of movies that just came out that are huge.
Okay, well, they had Moana, right?
Yeah, massive. What about Frozen? Isn't that Disney?
What's it called?
Frozen?
Oh, Frozen. Yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. Frozen was huge. But I guess Lilo and Stitch was the last like 2D animation thing they did, right? Because that wasn't like a Pixar like 3D type thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Was The Incredibles, was that a Disney or was that a Pixar? Or not at
both.
all?
Both.
I think it's both.
Yeah, Pixar is Disney now. Like, yeah.
I think my favorite would probably go back to Bug's Life, dude. Either that or the original Toy Story.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's when they started getting 3D with everything. Yeah.
Yeah, because even especially Bug's Life, you can watch, you can tell that was done on old technology.
Yeah.
But it's cool because they almost look like animatronic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because Disney used to do the thing with all the Pixar movies where they'd have like the bloopers at the end. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like it'd be like fucking Mike Wazowski or whatever.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Oh, sorry, I fucked up the line." Well, he wouldn't say that, but he'd be like, I messed up the line. And then Sully would like walk over and it'd be like this whole blooper reel, like a fake blooper reel.
So this, I remember because I've seen Bug's Life so many times. You know how they used to have previews for other movies and then they have the little short films in the beginning?
Yes.
The beginning of that movie was where the guy was playing chess with himself. You guys remember that little short from back in the day? He's like at the park and he's playing chess and he gets up and he goes to the other side of the bench and he plays and then he goes up and he goes this. And he's like acting out this whole chess game with himself. And then he pretends to die. I don't know. It's You guys never seen that?
No. It sounds familiar.
Okay. No, it's very like nostalgia from my childhood. Maybe you guys have never seen it.
The one nostalgic thing that was a preview before a movie that still like I remember all the time is the one before the Goofy movie. Which was like
one was that?
A song. There was a song before the Goofy movie. You put the Goofy movie VHS in the player. There's this song before the Goofy movie. And what the fuck is it? Shit.
Is it the song in the movie?
No, it's like...
Isn't it about a fictional rock star?
No. I know the whole Goofy movie. This was like pre-Goofy movie. Oh, the Remedy. Doctor something Remedy. Pick up your knees, high as you please. Dance away your troubles. Now stick out your tongue and say, no?
No.
Okay.
I think you watched a bootleg version.
No. This is real. This is a real thing. I'm telling you, James.
Sponge knob square nuts.
Yeah.
Sponge slob square nuts. All right. Well, you boys go ride your fucking motorcycles.
Okay.
Thanks for hanging out with us on the CPS pod there, James.
Thank you, boys. Here, let's try to coordinate like a high five thing.
Well, you ready, James? Here we go.
Yep.
Hopefully that works.
It's gonna look terrible.
Oh,
but
Yeah,
Sure.
it's gonna look great.
All right.
All right, folks.
It's been another creamy one. We have Jimbo here, the Italian stallion. We're about to take off. We'll see you in a week, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us again, of course, like always. And till next week.
Keep it creamy.
Heyo. I love you a long time. Thank you.
Great success.